because I actually met Dan at in Kansas City at the Inspirational Breakfast, and got to see him and his story, and it really was impactful to me, and so. So let me ask you, Dan, how long have you actually been speaking? Because you spoke at that event, you've written a book, and you have a very unusual story. So how long have you been speaking?
Well, I've been speaking for about 30 years now. But when I first started speaking, my audience was basically kindergartners through fifth graders in elementary school. As you know, I've got a strange occupation. I am a professional mascot. And when you're a mascot, kids just kind of naturally gravitate to you. And so I've always wanted to use my platform as a mascot to make a positive impact in the world. I tell people I want to be a character with character, meaning I not only want to be a good mascot who's funny and entertaining, but more importantly, I want to be a good role model in the lives of young people. And so I always knew that being a mascot was a great platform to reach young people. So I've been speaking to young people for probably 15 years. And the more I did it, the more requests I got to go out and speak to junior highs and high schools. And then I started to talk to adult groups and started to realize that adults are just big kids. And so it's but it's been fun. So I've been speaking for about probably 30 years and speaking specifically to adults and kids for probably the past 20 years now.
When you talk to kids, what do you talk about?
I've got several programs. The one I do a lot is on character education. We call it the ABC of success. And the ABC, we talk about your attitude. The B stands for your behavior, and the C stands for your character. And I just talk to kids about when you live life with a positive attitude, you treat others with respect and kindness, and then every day you go out and just try to live a life of character, or good things happen for you. So I do a lot of character programs. I do a lot of bully programs, a lot of fitness and nutrition, reading programs, say no to drug programs. And then I speak at a lot of churches where I go out and share my faith and my testimony a lot.
So let's why don't you hold up in your hands
my alter ego.
Yeah, that'll be the giveaway about what you do.
Okay, so I don't always look like this. When I go to work, I usually look like this right here. So, and I don't always smell like this either. I usually smell like this when I come back from work. And so, but yeah, so I work for the Kansas City Chiefs football team. And I've been with them for 30 years. This is my 30th season with the Chiefs. And before that, I got started when I was in college. I spent 4 years at the University of Missouri running around in a tiger suit, and never dreamed it would turn into my career. I always thought I'd be a mascot, for a few years. After college, I went and got a job with St. Louis Cardinals, worked in professional baseball. And then the Chiefs contacted me about being this character, Casey Wolf. And like I said, I thought I'd do it a couple years and then get a real job like everybody else. And 30 years later, I haven't quite gotten around to getting that real job yet. So
what did your parents think when, you said, I'm going to be a professional mascot?
When I first told them, I think they were a little bit hesitant, but it's funny because my dad, at the time I wasn't married, didn't have kids. And so my dad's like, well, if you're going to be a mascot and you want to try it, go do it for a couple of years because you can always get a real job like everybody else. And I don't think he had any idea that 30 years later I would still be running around in a costume, but the good news is I'm married, I've got 3 kids, and we haven't had to live in their basement yet. So this career's worked out pretty well for me.
Sounds like it. So what has been your favorite career experience?
I've got so many experiences as a mascot. I've walked women down the aisle on their wedding day. I've been best man in several weddings that I didn't even know who the groom was, but I stood there in a wolf outfit with a tuxedo over it. I tell people one of the highlights of my career is about 15 years ago, I got to go trick-or-treating with my kids. And of course, I went as Casey Wolf. They went as the 3 little pigs that year. So that was kind of a highlight for me. All my kids have brought me in for show and tell back when they were in kindergarten, which was a lot of fun. And so, yeah, and then I've got to travel all over the world. I think I've traveled about 10 different countries dressed as a wolf. And it's just been, I never dreamed I'd get to do some of the stuff that I've got to do as a mascot, but I continue to love doing it. And, they keep making this stuff called ibuprofen. So as long as they keep making that stuff, I hope to continue doing it a little longer.
So have any of your children gotten married?
I've got two that are seriously dating right now. So my wife and I just had this conversation. I've got a feeling within the next year or two, we're going to have a couple weddings in my family. But so currently, they're all single.
Are you going to dress as Casey Wolf, or are you going to dress as your dad?
I don't think that'll go over very well with the family. I may be able to pull it off at the reception or the rehearsal dinner, but I don't think I'm going to show up at the church dressed as Casey Wolf. So.
What have been some of the things that you have learned from being a mascot and being able to have so many experiences with all population, meaning age groups and kids, adults, and what have you learned from all this?
Well, the thing, I've got a quote on my desk at Arrowhead Stadium that says this, that laughter is like changing a baby's diaper. It doesn't change anything permanently, but it sure makes things more bearable for a while. And I love that quote because my goal every day, I tell people what I'm truly passionate about in life. I once read this, that if you ask a man his occupation, you find out how he pays his bills. But if you ask a man his preoccupation, then you'll discover the passion of his life. My occupation's mascot. I pay my bills running around in a costume, but my preoccupation, what I'm passionate about, are simply three things, and that is my faith, my family, and using my life to make a positive impact in this world that I live in. And that's what I get excited about each day, is my job as a mascot. I love being a mascot, but what I love most about it, it's my platform to go out and hopefully make a positive impact in the lives of others. And everybody's got a different platform, whether it's real estate or whether you're a teacher at a school, whether you're a nurse at a hospital. We've all got the opportunity each day, no matter what our occupation is, to make this world a little bit better place to live. And I tell my audiences, it doesn't matter if you're the CEO of a company or a custodian. It doesn't matter if you're the head coach of your team or you're just a team mascot. Every one of us each day has that opportunity to go out and make this world a better place by the way we choose to live our lives.
And wouldn't you say, Dan, that really when you dig deeper, you ask questions of other people, that you find out that everyone has a story, right?
Oh, yes. Everybody definitely has a story. And the other thing I've learned is that everybody's got issues. We sometimes in life, we try to hide our issues. We try to wear a mask and cover up the fact that, but when it boils right down to it, we've all got fears. We've all got failures. We've all got, things we struggle with. And, I laugh about this because, I've got issues, you've got issues. And I tell my audience, if you don't think you've got issues, that means you've really got issues at that point. And so,
yes, very true.
My wife's a counselor, and she's like, those are the people that have the biggest issues are the ones that are afraid to admit that they've got issues. And so, so I'll just be honest with you. I'm a man with issues, but I try to use my platform to go out and hopefully make this world just a little bit brighter place.
Well, you're not just any mascot. I heard that you might have been the only NFL mascot that's gotten a pretty big award.
Well, yeah, I got inducted into the Mascot Hall of Fame, which most people didn't even know there was a Mascot Hall of Fame, but there is a Mascot Hall of Fame. So I was the first NFL mascot inducted into the Hall of Fame back in 2006, I believe it was. And so, but so if you live long enough, they'll name an award after you, I tell people. And so,
well, and for some reason, I have a, because I've gotten to see you speak, the one thing that you're going to share at the Growthward Summit is that there was a day not so many years ago that things didn't go perfectly for you, and it really it really shattered your world. Not shattered. It was it was a big test, or I would say it was challenging.
It put my life into focus in a big hurry. Yeah, I tell my audiences, I won't tell the whole story, but let's just say I did a stunt at Arrowhead Stadium that did not go very well. It was actually a bungee jump that didn't go very well.
Right.
And I fell about 70 feet and did a lot of damage, not only to the seats at Arrowhead Stadium, I did quite a bit of damage to my body too. And it took me several months to recover from that. And, you know, during those, I'm convinced that some of the most difficult times in our lives are when we can learn some of the most important lessons in life. And that's what I'll be sharing coming up. And yeah, just all the lessons that I learned through that very difficult time in my life. And, you know, the doctor told me I was lucky to still be alive. And, you know, when you hear words like that, it kind of makes you stop and evaluate how you're living life. And, you know, I want to live my life for the things that are important, not just the things that are urgent, because there's a lot of urgent things in this life, but I want to truly be living for the things that are important.
Focusing on the majors and not on the minors.
Exactly.
Well, and I won't tell any more of the story, but what I can tell you is that everybody that's coming to this event, the nuggets, the gems, your passion, and what you really learned through that experience, and that you're going to share with the audience, it really was impactful for me that day. I know it's going to be impactful for them. We can't wait to see you in sunny Arizona in April, and we can't wait to see Casey Wolf as well. So we're excited to have you, and it'll be a great event that I know a lot of people are going to get a lot of value from, because there's wonderful people like you who are willing to tell your story, and that helps other people have hope that, you know, if you can get through what you got through, we can probably get through what we're going through too. So anything else that you want to say, Dan?
Hey, I'm looking forward to being there. It just snowed here in Kansas City today for the first time. So I am ready to get to sunny Arizona. I'm looking forward to it. So.
Well, thank you so much, Dan, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.